So we've actually been talking about interviewing for almost a month or so now, maybe almost 2 months, right?
Right, absolutely.
And so there was one time where you were crying your eyeballs out. You know, you had a little bit of alcohol, and you were saying that if I do the interview now, I'm gonna tell everything.
Because, you know, when you drunk, all the truth come out, everything come out, even certain stuff that you don't want to say.
Yeah, that's like the bird in the back of your head.
Yeah.
So, hey man, free Thug, man. That boy about to get out, man.
I love him.
Yeah, that's our guy. That's my guy. That's my new guy, man. I rock with him, man. I like him.
Yes.
Cool dude. So, but yeah, so what was some of the stuff that you was referring to when you was going through those emotions?
Okay, so
what's up, YouTube? Back in the lab with KD for the summertime. And this time I got my hitters with me. If you want to get this work, hit up at KD with the muscle on Instagram. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews, out here with another one. So we got a young lady with us today. How you doing today, miss?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So real quick, I'm gonna pull you just in the sun just for like a minute or two, okay?
Okay.
Just so we can get some good lighting. I can have a good thumbnail. All right, so,
okay.
What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews, out here with another one. So we got a young lady with us today. How you doing today, miss?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. It's gonna be a scorcher today.
Yes,
almost 100 degrees out here. So,
yes.
Woo, stay cool, everybody. All right, so are you homeless?
No.
Okay, and so what's your situation?
My situation is I end up coming up here from Miami January 1st, and I got into a lot of hard obstacle courses out here from the time me first being up here to now.
So as far as your situation, I mean, like, as far as homeless, houseless, like what's... yo, my boy, y'all gonna see my boy, I promise you. I promise you gonna see my boy, all right? Just look for it. You gonna see my boy. Look, Atlanta Trap Interview. look, man. y'all better be looking. Hey, y'all look out for your boy, man. He gonna be on here. I promise you. I promise you he gonna be on here.
That's my little
He
dog.
a character for real.
Yes.
All right. So, but long story short, you were saying, all right, not homeless, but I'm houseless.
Right.
So where do y'all kind of lay your head or whatever at night?
As of right now, we're in between blessings, so we're staying in the car, which I've been in the car for about, let's say, 6 months.
About 6 months?
Yes.
Okay, so and that's pretty much almost the amount of time that you've been here in Atlanta.
Almost,
okay.
yes.
Okay, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 19 years
19?
old. Yes, I'll be 20.
Get a 19-year-older. She actually, I have similar looks and everything.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's figure this out. So, 19, do you have any kids?
No kids.
No? Have you ever been married?
No.
No? Okay, let's step over in the shade again.
Yeah, okay.
It is hot.
I know it
is hot. Okay. All right, so 19, no kids. I'm gonna scoot you over just a little bit. Right there. Right there's perfect. All right, so 19, no kids, never been married. All right, so what made you decide to come up here to Atlanta in January?
Because, you know, I had a lot of complications at home. My grandma ended up passing about 2022, and it was hard. Her death hit me very, very hard. It was very emotional, and I couldn't handle it where I'm from, which is Miami. I was causing destruction. I was doing
what type
everything,
of stuff?
Like fighting every day, cursing people out. Just going.
I tell people it's always the tiny, it's always the tiny ladies that want to be fighting. Like, how much do you weigh?
Like 96 pounds.
like, why are you trying to fight anybody? Okay, but I get it. So, okay, so you was just having a rough time.
I was
in Miami. And
very rough time.
Did you like just decide I'm just gonna come up to Atlanta?
I have a family. I do have family.
So you came up here to be with family.
Yes.
So what happened to that?
I came up here and I was with my cousin, and me and my cousin are the same age, but she's nasty. She's dirty. She does stuff that I would never do.
Like what?
She She fucks multiple people, which I cannot do. She has so many people at her house. She has friends that don't like her, and she doesn't see it. She let people manipulate her, and I'm not the type of person. So I cursed everybody out in her house, including her, and she kicked me out.
Okay. Well, I get that you may not agree with the stuff she's doing, but I mean, you know, if it's her house, and why curse her out if you need a roof over your head?
Because of the fact that you got people, because she had friends. Mind you, we're the same age, so all her friends are around the same age.
Right.
So therefore, and one thing about me, I don't tolerate disrespect from nobody on no type of level. So therefore, when her friends, I seen her friends, you know, they were starting beef with me and her. And mind you, I've been with my cousin, we've been growing up since baby. So therefore, for you to try to sit here and try to make us go against each other, now I'm on your ass. But she was trying to pick her friend's side, and I snapped on her too.
Okay. How long did you stay there before things went left?
About 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks? It didn't last that long?
No.
Okay.
No, I did.
No,
I
she picked it up. No, she picked it up, my boy.
Give it to me.
Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. She picked it up.
Oh my God.
What's up, my boy? How you, man?
This shit this morning, though. I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. Oh shit, I made this shit this morning.
So wait, what's your name, big dog?
Down. Who you working for? The police?
Don't do that. Don't do that. You
Alright,
say
my
whatever
name
name you want to say.
Love. I'm like, no Diddy though.
I'm
The real
about to
love.
say,
No Diddy.
Love or Diddy? Which
No
one?
Diddy. No Diddy.
Y'all, he gonna have his own interview. I
I'm
promise.
gonna have my own interview.
All right, so look, he's still throwing it out.
We homeless? What you say? So we ain't homeless? We houseless.
We houseless. Hey.
Stop playing with us.
Hey man, my boy got personality on personality. He ain't playing, man.
No.
Well, that's gonna be my dog right there, man.
Yes, he's been by my side ever since I've been out here.
I love it, man. I love it. I love good energy, man. I love good energy.
Me
So,
too.
okay, so that's what happened. That's how you ended up out here.
Yes.
So let's just start from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay,
This
so
the deep part.
where you from?
Miami.
All right, so
305.
shout
Liberty
out.
City.
Shout out that
Yes,
Dade
sir.
County.
Yes.
Shout out that 305. That
Three
big
oh
old Miami.
motherfucking
All
five.
day, man. All day. So growing up in Miami, did you have both mom and dad in the household?
Let me get this straight. I've been in foster care since 4 years old. So my mom had complications, so did my dad as well. So I was in foster system. I went from 22 houses at the age of 4. And then at 6, I got adopted into this family and been with them ever since I was 6.
At 6?
Yes.
Okay. So you know, me and you, we're connected through our guy, right?
Yes.
And so that is my guy, man. He been a supporter of mine literally since day one out here on these streets. So definitely shout out to my boy. I ain't gonna say his name on the camera, but shout him out. Yeah, your man. You know what I'm saying? So shout him out. And so, you know, so we've actually been talking about interviewing for almost a month or so now, maybe almost 2 months, right?
Right, absolutely.
And so there was one time where you were crying your eyeballs out. You know, you had a little bit of alcohol and you were saying that if I do the interview now, I'm gonna tell everything.
Because, you know, when you drunk, all the truth come out, everything come out, even certain stuff that you don't want to say.
Yeah, that's like the bird in the back of your head.
Yeah.
So hey man, free Thug, man. That boy about to get out, man.
I love him.
Yeah, that's our guy. That's my guy. That's my new guy, man. I rock with him, man. I like him.
Yes.
Cool dude. So, but yeah, so what was some of the stuff that you was referring to when you was going through those emotions?
Okay, so I really want to say this because it is females out there that have or going through the same thing I have went through, and going on in my life, I've had everybody, even people that I have not met, told me to write a book about my life story because I can save so many lives on what I went through and how I made it out.
Okay.
And how I'm still fighting to make it out.
So are we talking about like sexual assault?
Sexual assault. I've been sexually and abused my entire life. My mother, which what she did was as
your adopted mom or biological
no, my
mom?
biological mom.
Okay.
My biological mom, as a baby, my mom was, you know, a heroin, and she was on a lot of type of drugs, but eventually she could not afford for her drugs.
Right.
So she used me as bait. She used me to have, you know, come in, and people come in and do what they do. And
how old were you at the time? Because you said
about
you went
3.
Jesus.
3, 2.
Do you have memories of these things?
I
or
do. I actually have this one nightmare that I have from time to time, and it was where one night I was crying so bad to my mother, and she looked over me and she laughed and she told me to take that dick. So, and that replays in my head. For you to be a mother and for me to be so young and you to tell me that, you messed my whole life up at the end of the day. She messed my entire life up.
So did the sexual assaults continue at any point after that in your life?
Yes, I end up, after being at 4 years old, I end up going into the system because someone seen my mom hit me with a glass bottle and they reported her to Child Protective Services. So I end up going into custody, but I have visits with her. At first we had visits, so maybe like on the weekend they'll let me go with her,
right.
And then, you know, I come back to the office. But as time got older, I was as life went on, I got older, I ended up getting adopted into this beautiful family. My mom, my dad, which they are my second family. I've been with them since 6. They took care of me. But I do want to say this. As a 4-year-old child, when I was in the system, the judge told a family that was going to adopt me, they told them she is a 40-year-old in the 4-year-old's body. I was already too smart for my own good. So I caused trouble a lot only because of the trauma and everything that I went through.
Right.
So when I got adopted into my new family, they refused to listen to what anybody had to say about me. They said she can try, she has a chance, and they adopted me. Been with them, time got older. I was very, very sexually active around, let's say 13, 14, sexually active.
What do you think triggered that?
People say it's not a good thing that I look at it like that, and it might not be the case, but I feel like I'm so sexually active because of how many times I've been raped back then. I feel like that's the reason I'm so, you know,
I get it. Hypersexual, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I was just having a conversation with a young lady that was hypersexual due to her trauma in childhood. And so we know what happened with your mom and everything else. Did anything happen when you was in foster care or when you was
Yes, that's where the abuse come in, not the sexual but regular abuse, being beat on and being with people that's only in it for the money. So I was with a white family also, and they beat me up. Their son used to try and touch on me, but when I used to tell him, they used to refuse it. He never had sex with me, but he'll touch, and I refuse it.
This is at the age of what, 4 or 5?
No.
So this is older.
This was like 5, 6.
Okay, 5, 6. I was this is before you got to
adopted. Yeah.
This is before you got to the adopted family.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's where the abuse came in. But once I hit 6 years old, I was like in the middle of my being 6. I got adopted into this beautiful family.
And so that family, nothing ever happened with them?
No, I want to get into that. Okay. I thought it was a beautiful family.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Certain people in that family was beautiful. But my grandma, like I said, I love my grandma. She was a Christian. I love her the most. She was actually my savior. She did everything she could. She taught me so much stuff that I'm using now, which is getting me out of where I was. So, but it was also, my grandma was a family grandma house where she opened her doors up to everybody.
Right.
Even random.
Yeah,
she
old
cooked
school.
Sunday dinner, big dinner. But I had an uncle, adoptive uncle, but uncle, that stayed in there. And it was one day, I was about, let's say 15, 16. And I asked him for about $200 to fix something, but on the regular, he usually give me like $20. He'll go to the store with, like, he'll spoil me at the rest of the group. Mind you, I'm young, I don't know. I'm not thinking, oh, he's gonna, yeah.
Right.
So it was one point where I asked him for a big amount of money. He gave it to me, and then he was like, but you know what you gotta give me, right? And I'm like, no. And he looks down. So I'm like, okay. Then I take the money, I spend it. Then that day goes for everybody. Then it's nighttime. And his room was in the back of the house, and it was a room right here, the bathroom, and then also another room. And that was my cousin's room, but which I stayed in when I stayed in my grandma's house, because I used to get kicked out of my foster parents' house, but my grandma used to welcome me in, like she would never want me on the streets.
Right.
So she used to let me come over there. So it was one night where he snuck in there and he put a sock in my mouth, and he was just having sex with me. And then I let it go on because, I'm so used to, people doing it. So I let it go on. And it was to a point where I got fed up, like, you in my grandma's house doing this shit.
So it was like every day type deal?
Damn near every night. He'll sneak in my room about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning and come in there when everybody sleep and do what he got to do. But
how did you feel about it at that time?
you know, the usual. That's what everybody else has done to me since I was young, so why not? You know, and sometimes, you know, it's scared to, sometimes you're so scared that you don't want to tell anybody. So I kept it to myself. But when I realized that that's not what I want to be and that's not what I want to do, I have too much respect for myself. I end up, one night he came in there, but I was prepared. I recorded it. I recorded him going down on me, eating, you know, whatever. I recorded him. He had no idea. Turned it off, saved it, but the phone that I had was his phone. I didn't have my own phone. I was using his phone. He used to always let me use his phone, whatever. So I recorded it, and I was just there. And I told my auntie, which her name is, we call her Auntie Moran, which is one of my grandma's sister. She asked me, she was like, are you down? She just knew something was up with me. And I told her I was being sexually assaulted by somebody else, and she was like, who? And she called him out before I called him out.
She already knew.
She said, Pop, and I was like, yeah, him. And she was so angry, but I showed her the video, which made her furious. She told him herself one-on-one, so nobody else, because one thing about my daddy and my uncles, they smash heads. So she didn't want to go out and just tell.
Right.
So she confronted him herself and told her, stay away from her. Don't go by her, stay away from her. And he stood away from me. But eventually, he was doing what he was doing to my little sister. He was doing what he was doing to me, to my little sister. He wasn't sexually assaulting, but he was like, you know, giving her money,
right, that type of stuff.
And I refused that shit. You did it to me, I would not have you do that to my little sister. So I went and I told my sister, I told my cousins, my younger cousins, not younger, but like, you know, 23, 24.
Right.
And I told my grandma. They end up telling my daddy. My daddy end up, you know, wishy-washy, and they understood that I was scared. But at the end of the day, nothing was done. He was still sitting in that house. I just wasn't able to go over there.
Wow.
So
how did that make you feel?
Abandoned. Like, damn, y'all don't care what's going on. Y'all don't care that he did that. Even though he was confronted and he was told, you do it again, you know, blah, blah, blah. But it's so many kids at my grandma's house, so many young kids. And it was to the point where people was taking their kids away, like, you know, you can't come around. No. So, after that, that was my last time actually being sexually assaulted. After that, I was able to. I wasn't having it.
You were standing up for yourself.
Standing up for myself, nigga. No. But as life got older, I want to say at 16 years old, I was in skipping class, smoking weed. My parents found me smoking weed. That's
real quick. I want to go back to why you had to be going over grandma's house. Like, why was you getting kicked out the house?
Oh, for smoking. I was also fighting my foster parents. I did not like my mother. I felt like she was targeting me with her daughter and her family, which I got to get into that because their side of the family is not good side. My father and his side of the family and loved me. They did everything that they could, but I was definitely going to grandma's house because I was fighting them. They had to call the cops on me multiple times. I ran away so many times. They put search parties out.
Why do you think you was doing all that?
My mental health. I was fucked up. I was so fucked up in my head.
Because I'm gonna say this, right? You're obviously an intelligent young lady.
I am, but I also have ODD, which is a defiance order, authority disorder. I do not like authority even now. I don't like authority. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't listen like nobody. The police, the president couldn't even come to me and tell me what the fuck to do.
They're gonna be here tomorrow. That's why they're shutting the city down. They're gonna be here tomorrow for the presidential debate. So
that's crazy.
Okay, so let's okay. So definitely a lot going on, right?
Yes.
Sounds like you had some issues with mom, had some sexual stuff issues going on at grandma's house with the uncle. Okay, so there was a thing or two when you were crying that day that you said to our guy, you said, there's some things that I haven't even told you.
Right.
And I felt like, man, she needs to get this stuff off of her because it was tearing you up. It was palpable. I could feel it. What is that stuff?
I'm gonna give you two. I might not say all of them, but you know what? I don't even care because there's so many people out there that go through this stuff that I go through, and I feel like it's powerful for somebody to understand that it's somebody out there that actually went through it. So some stuff I have not told him. I've not told him that growing, like, he's asked me some questions. I don't know if he want that in there, but he asked me a question, like, I think that same night. He asked me, have I ever, down there, like, ever, how you say it, STD, any...
Right. Have you ever caught anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have not. I have not caught anything ever, but I did have, like, I used to wear very, very tight clothes, which caused a UTI or a yeast infection, something like that. But to have an STD because of him knowing of how much I've, he always
was
asked.
Kind of out there type deal?
Yeah, but I actually was surprised because nobody ever believed me when I said I didn't have anything. So I didn't want to tell him, but I didn't. And I actually showed him all of my results. I showed him after that day you came out. I actually was afraid to open up to him, but I did that night because of the fact that I was drunk and I was telling you stuff, so I had to tell him.
I'm gonna tell you something. People don't understand the power when it comes to, for whatever reason, people will open up to me. They'll just start talking. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, right? I don't know what it is. And so
I just felt your energy, like your energy, you knew that it was something, I don't know, your energy is so powerful because one thing about me, I'm spiritual. So I feel your good vibes. I feel that you're out here trying to help. You're doing nothing but helping. And talking about this is very,
therapeutic.
Yes, because of the fact that it's people out here that don't talk about anything and they let it mess their head up.
Eat them up. It eats them alive from the inside. And so, that's the power of simply having a conversation, is that you ended up kind of making yourself more vulnerable to your guy who you're already completely locked in with.
Yes.
So that's just powerful to me. That's powerful. So,
because you're powerful, so.
Well, listen, I appreciate that. I really do. And so you guys are doing your 1-2, right? You guys are doing your 1-2. And so what are we doing to kind of get ourselves like into a, place of like really good stability and everything like that?
Right now, I'm actually doing great. We're in the car, but I actually went to Tent Park Place, which if anybody's out here that wants to get off their feet but is struggling, I went to Tent Park Place. I went to the 3rd floor, which is mental health, because I'm diagnosed with a lot of mental health.
Correct.
So, and I also know that I need help. And that's the first step into thriving, into getting better, is to know that you have a problem and know that you need to get it fixed. And I know I do. So therefore I went, I signed up, I got, I'm getting my medication, I have all the documents, assigned my doctor, but they also do housing. They help you with housing. They assign you to a case manager. They help you find income, which that's what we have in a hard time with is money, coming up on something, because I don't have a job and my boyfriend can't get a job. So therefore, I'm going to have and I can't work certain places because of my disability. I've been fired from all my last jobs for fighting because I don't, disrespect once again.
Right.
So I want them to have me, I want a job where I'm on my feet, like say a warehouse, just, packing stuff, just on my feet.
You don't have to deal with the general public and you just kind of doing your 1-2.
Yes.
I get it.
So once I went there, they signed me up. I did that yesterday at 8 o'clock that morning. So once they said it takes about a month to get your housing, but my caseworker should be calling me tomorrow or the next day after tomorrow.
Shout out Ileana. She, as well as a bunch of other interviewees, have gone through Tent Park Place to get all that stuff, their mental health, housing, everything. So shout out Tent Park Place, man. Shout it out for sure. All right, well, listen, I feel like you have so many layers to your story, and you're with my guy, so we're always gonna be able to layer on part 2, part 3, whatever it is, because I felt like there was definitely some things you wanted to talk about as far as the relationship with your mom, your adopted mom, and how that whole situation went.
Absolutely.
We're gonna talk about all that. Well, listen, if anybody out there did want to reach out, help, or donate, Do you have a way that they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
Social media, no. Cash App, yes. My Cash App is hashtag ZOEYVIB and 3 S's. Zoey Vibes with 3 S's.
Okay, okay. You say VYB or VIB?
No, VIB.
Okay,
Zoey
VIBES.
And 3 S's.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. You ain't got no IG or Facebook?
No, I actually cut off social media because social media is not a real thing.
I'll tell you what. Look at you. You're 19, and whatever mental stuff you have going on, like I say,
I don't let it destroy me.
well, and you're actually seems to be a fairly mature, fairly intelligent young lady. So
Yes.
I am rooting for you. I am
Thank
definitely rooting for
you.
you. All right, and I'm 100% rooting for my guy, man. As soon as I could find a lane for him that fits into what I'm doing, man, he's gonna be my guy, man. So
Definitely.
I really appreciate y'all, and definitely wish you nothing but the best. Okay.
Thank you.
Make sure you have a good one, sweetie.
You too.
All right. All right.